All right, y'all, man. Hot topic today, man. Definitely, I know has been kind of going around the internet a little bit, but Smoke Dixon thinks it's over for the SEC in terms of their dominance. Says we've seen the end of SEC running college football. Now, certainly over the last, few years, he does have a point. And when I say he has a point, the last two championships has been Big Ten, right? You've obviously had Michigan and you had Ohio State. So when he says the dominance is over, to a degree, I do agree with him, right? I think there's a lot more parity now. I think with the transfer portal, the NIL, these other teams have kind of caught up. It's not to say that an SEC team can't win a championship. That is not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is the playing field is more level now, right? Everybody can compete. Ohio State has a big NIL fund. You know what I'm saying? You've seen several other teams devoting to it. Go look at what Michigan did in this recruiting cycle in 2025, getting Bryce Underwood away, prying him away from an LSU team who obviously has their own NIL money. But when you're getting those wins like that and you're beating a conference to an elite prospect, that definitely says a lot and makes you think a little bit. And it's not just the Big Ten. I keep telling y'all sleep on the ACC. The ACC is where it's at too, man. Now I know the Big Ten, the SEC is bringing in the money. I feel y'all, but let's not forget the ACC is also powerful as well. I know the revenue share is not the same, which is why Florida State and obviously Clemson's had problems and they've obviously wanted to get out. But if the ACC can rectify this and continue to have these elite teams that stay in the ACC, obviously with the addition of 3 more new teams that they added now, the ACC is right there as well. Clemson is going to be an elite team this year. Y'all say what y'all want. Last year they made the college football playoff. I definitely think this year they could take another jump forward. I think they could be a team that makes it to a Final Four. Yes, you're going to look at me crazy. Brian Wesco, Cade Klubnik, that defensive line with Peter Woods, right? Guys that got coming in. Don't sleep on Stephon Green. Sammy Brown coming back another year. Clemson is going to be an elite team this year. Y'all sleep on it if y'all want to. So, to his point, I do agree. I think the run of, it's going to be, SEC champion, that wins it all every single year. I don't think that's going to be the case. I think it's going to be a mix-up, and to his point, like we've seen college coaches come out and say, the SEC needs to have at least automatic bids in. No, they don't. You know what I'm saying? I understand they're bringing in the money. Let the best teams get in. There doesn't need to be any automatic bids. You know what I'm saying? And when I say automatic bids, I'm saying because you're in the SEC, you get in. Now, if you win your conference, I think you deserve an automatic bid to get in. That's not to say you deserve a top 4 seed. That's not what I'm saying. But if you do win your conference, you do deserve to get a playoff spot. That is what I'm saying. But to that degree, because you're in the SEC, you deserve, no. You know what I'm saying? Earn your spot is basically what I'm alluding to. And I think with that, you've seen other teams come up. They're being able to compete. We've seen it this past year. Obviously, teams beating SEC opponents. You know what I'm saying? Now, SEC handled their business as well, right? You had South Carolina beating Clemson. That was a big win for them. You had Georgia Tech putting Georgia on the ropes. You know what I'm saying? Obviously, Georgia ended up winning, but they was on the ropes. You know what I'm saying? We've seen Big Ten's been handling their business as well. Michigan beating Alabama in that, obviously, bowl game. You know what I'm saying? We obviously see Ohio State ended up beating, really good teams. We've seen the independent team and Notre Dame beat Georgia. You know what I'm saying? So we've seen a whole bunch of that this year. So I agree with him. I think it is the dominance of, let's say, it's Bama. We're going to win 3-4 straight. Or we're winning 5 of the last 6. Or we're winning 7 of the last 10. I don't think you're going to see runs like that no more. I think you'll see a lot more parity. Teams like, Penn State, Ohio State, Oregon, got to throw them in there as well. I think you'll see teams like that being able to win championships with the way they're recruiting at a high level, their NIL fund, and how they're attacking the portal. You know what I'm saying? Colorado throwing in 2. Have to wait to see if they can make the playoffs first. But yes, I do agree with him. I do think the run of dominance of what I just alluded to, the 6-8, the 7-10, I don't think you're going to see that anymore. It's too much parity. It's too hard to keep these kids. And if you have a top kid, let's say, y'all seen a couple videos ago when I talked about it. Jeremiah Smith's commanded $4.5 million. You know what I'm saying? Teams are asking him to hit the portal to come there. You're going to see more of that. And that's why I say I think it is over, because when you have that, let's say it's a hot freshman on the scene this year for Georgia, or a hot freshman on the scene this year for Bama, right? That next year, he might be making a couple $100,000, right? That next year, he could be worth over $5-6 million. Let's say a Big Ten team is offering him something, or a Big 12 team is offering something to start and get this package. He might ponder that a little bit, you know what I'm saying? If you ain't coming to the fray, it's hard to pay all them positions, especially when you have other needs and things like that. So it makes it tough, man. But there's going to definitely have to be regulations and different things in place for it in order for it to obviously work. I know revenue share is coming. I know more stipulations with the kids probably around transferring is going to come in. There's a lot to it, right? But I do think we are kind of entering into the golden era of college football, which means on any given Saturday, Friday, Thursday, or even Monday, you know what I'm saying, for early on in the season, anybody can win. And that's what makes college football great, because it's up in the air, right? You don't know who's going to come out on top. And I think that makes for more elite level matchups, especially early in the season. A lot of people say, well, it takes away the muster a little bit. I don't think it does, right? If Clemson's playing LSU week 1, I want to see that game. Who's going to win that game, right? That has my eyes to the TV screen. I want to see who comes out on top, because I know at the end of the day, whoever wins or loses that game, it matters, yes, but it's not going to matter in the grand scheme. If both teams go undefeated, or from that point, let's say LSU loses and then go undefeated, or let's say Clemson loses and go undefeated, they are still likely to make the college football playoff. So that's my point. It still makes for great matches early in the season. So to his point, I do think that the run of SEC dominance is over, but it makes for a greater product on the field, better parity, more teams getting in. Obviously, I know it's the 12, but when I say more teams, I'm saying teams that we're not accustomed to making runs, like this past year with Arizona State making that run and putting Texas on the ropes. We get to see stuff like that, which we have not seen in a very long time, which I think makes the appeal and the audience for those teams more locked in, especially if they're winning the Big 12, especially if they're winning their conference. But hey, we might have a chance to make some noise in the postseason. You just never know. Not to the extent of college football, college basketball, but still keeps your intrigue. So 100% agree with him, man. But y'all comment below. Have we seen the end of SEC football running college football? Do y'all agree with him, or is he out of his mind? Y'all let me know in the comments.